Welcome to Manifest the Big Stuff. I'm Greg Kuhn, your host and author of the life-changing Why Quantum Physicist book series. Think of Manifest the Big Stuff as a weekly manifesting tune-up. Everything I share here comes directly from my life as I manifest my most important desires in real time with you, like a scientist. Not perfectly, but fulfillingly. So thank you for checking in. Welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of Manifest the Big Stuff. I'm excited today because we get to talk about one of my favorite topics, money. Because this episode is all about how to manifest $1 million. And I want to begin by describing to you exactly how you can do that using a technique I call Make Your Mount Rushmore. This is a technique you can apply to any desire, but today we're applying it to wealth. A Mount Rushmore of wealth consists of 4 primary experiences through which I am striving to manifest the experiences of wealth that I desire. When making my Mount Rushmore of wealth, the first figurehead on my Mount Rushmore is money, cash, that $1 million. That's really important to me. And that is definitely one of the things that I want to manifest so that I can experience wealth. The second figurehead on my Mount Rushmore of wealth is getting word of mouth referrals. When somebody recommends me to a trusted friend, that means as much to me as money. And the third figurehead on my Mount Rushmore of wealth is having fun, enjoying myself, having fun with what I do with you and for you. That is as important to me as referrals and money. And my fourth figurehead on my Mount Rushmore of wealth is big opportunities to empower people. One of the most important attributes a human can have is to recognize wet cement. That means you can press your hands into it. Those opportunities are as important to me as having fun together, as word of mouth referrals that indicate the value that I bring and the amount of money that is flowing into me. Manifesting all 4 of those experiences is exactly how I wish to experience wealth as I truly desire. And the key to making a Mount Rushmore, none of those 4 experiences is more important than any of the other 3. And none of those experiences is any less important. Money, word of mouth referrals, fun, and big opportunities are of equal importance. Then I manifest each one of those 4 experiences in my life like a scientist. I gather evidence from my material reality and the feelings that it summons in each of those areas of my life. And I use that evidence, that empirical data, to form hypotheses for how to best manifest each of those experiences as I truly desire. Then I test my hypotheses by living them, and my material reality responds in accord to what I am doing. That material reality and the feelings that it summons from me constitutes more evidence, more empirical data that I use to sharpen my hypotheses for how to best manifest each of those 4 experiences of wealth. And as I test those sharpened hypotheses, I create more evidence and I repeat until, well, I'm still going. Every moment of every day becomes an opportunity for me to manifest each of those 4 experiences of wealth as I truly desire. Those 4 experiences of wealth that comprise my Mount Rushmore are all tied together. They are a siphonophore. A siphonophore is an organism like a Portuguese man of war. It is a colony of independent organisms that work together in perfect concert to form a larger organism. They couldn't live separately, and together they become something much more than a collective of their individual parts. These 4 figureheads on my Mount Rushmore of wealth do the same thing. As I manifest each one like a scientist every day, they function in perfect concert to manifest experiences of wealth that grow increasingly more aligned with my true desires for it. In my experience, it is the surest way to get as close as is possible for you to manifesting the money that you truly desire. But it's definitely not a shortcut. If you're looking for a shortcut, I understand. After all, the meanest, hardest struggle is doing it right. The shortcuts are great, but in this instance, manifesting the big stuff like this, I don't know of any. And here's another thing about manifesting that million. You know full well that having a thing or accomplishing a certain something or achieving something specific doesn't always deliver the experiences in material reality that you intended to manifest. Just ask anyone who's been divorced. In fact, if we rewound how this podcast began, and I had asked you if you wanted to know how to manifest $1 million, of course, you said yes. Well, what if my next statement was, well, I'm really sorry, I can't teach you how to manifest $1 million. But I can teach you how to manifest the safety and security that the $1 million would give you. I'm really sorry that I can't teach you how to manifest the actual dough. Will you at least let me teach you how to manifest the safety and security it was going to give you? I'm sure you would say yes, but you would still want the $1 million. After you learned how to manifest the safety and security that it was going to give you without it, you still want the $1 million, of course. I think it's Zig Ziglar, the famous motivational speaker, who said, money can't buy you happiness, but everybody wants to find out for themselves. So manifest the safety and security that the money is going to provide you and manifest the dough. Do both. And what you'll find is that manifesting the safety and security that the money is going to give you actually really helps you manifest the money itself. Creating your Mount Rushmore of wealth is, as far as I'm concerned, the surest way to get as close as is possible for you to experience money and wealth as you truly desire. It is the quintessential embodiment of not putting all your eggs in one basket. It is a way to holistically weave your beliefs about wealth together as you grow them. And it uses the power of a rising tide, which lifts every boat in the harbor. There is a technique that I heartily recommend for manifesting your Mount Rushmore experiences of wealth or any other desire you select. And I call it Find Your Coach. The first important step in this technique is identifying somebody who you can trust and who knows what they're talking about. Somebody who's been there and done that. And ask them for their advice. When you're identifying this person, lean into knowing what they're talking about, because it's much easier for you to vet whether someone knows what they're talking about than whether you can trust them or not. Meet with this person and share with them the Mount Rushmore experiences you desire to manifest in order to experience wealth as you truly desire. And then share your hypotheses for manifesting each of these experiences. Share what you are doing to create each of them. Then listen to learn. Don't defend any of your plans. Don't rationalize anything. Don't justify anything, even if you're being criticized. Remember, when someone is complaining to you, you are still part of the solution. This is someone you trust and someone who knows what they're talking about. Listen, learn, and then adjust your hypotheses for how to best manifest the 4 experiences that you truly desire in order to experience wealth. Test those sharpened hypotheses, and as your material reality of wealth responds in accord with what you're doing, use that and the feelings it summons as further evidence, and optimally repeat this process of sitting down with your coach and listening and learning every month. Just as your ability to love someone else is greatly influenced by your ability to love yourself, your ability to manifest money is greatly affected by how much you value yourself. Money is, of course, reflective of value. Obviously, externally, the more value we present to others, usually the more money we will receive in return. And just as readily, the more we value ourselves, the more we will feel worthy recipients of the money that is coming to us. At the end of the day, when I give my money to someone, that is an expression of how valuable they are to me. The worst thing that could happen in that transaction, from my point of view, is for the recipient of that value to not feel worthy of it. To the contrary, my hope is that you revel in the value that you have to me when I share my money with you. I have a really cool quantum tip today that fits perfectly with manifesting wealth like a scientist by making your Mount Rushmore. But first, I want to share something really important for you as you begin manifesting your Mount Rushmore experiences. I want to remind you that speed bumps only jar you when you're going too fast. The jolt isn't usually pleasant, but it's always a sharp reminder, an unambiguous and clear piece of feedback about your speed relative to the speed limit. Sometimes the speed bumps you encounter are self-created. And some of those speed bumps, built with beliefs that don't serve you, are keeping the speed limit way slower than it needs to be. Sometimes when you're manifesting the big stuff, it's not being jarred by speed bumps that should worry you. And today's quantum tip, tailor-made for you as you begin to manifest your Mount Rushmore experiences of wealth. Today's tip is about the difference between striving for excellence and perfectionism. Perfectionism is about trying to control the outcome so that you can manifest what you desire exactly as you want to manifest it. Perfectionism is all about fear. Excellence, however, is about lovingly pushing yourself to act, think, relate, and manifest from the highest part of yourself. The antidote to perfectionism is surrender. Surrender is about accepting where you are at this moment, knowing that you are a work in progress. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. I had a blast making this episode. I hope you found value in it. If you did, please tell a friend about Manifest the Big Stuff. And take a moment to visit my website, whyquantumphysicists.com. I've got a free book there for you called How Reversing 7 Words Can Change Your Life. That book was born in a forge of personal failure, financial and personal disaster. I have forged a new life based on what is in that book. So I'm going to invite you to download your free copy of my life-changing book, How Reversing 7 Words Can Change Your Life, by visiting my website. Take a few moments and come get your copy. And make sure you follow this podcast so you never miss an episode, and come back here to spend more time with me real soon.